اوكي. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين. So today we're going to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness is really very, very important topic. Of course, our religion talk about anything which is very important for our mental health, our emotions. But normally we people struggle with forgiveness because sometimes we think, oh, if I forgive, that mean I'm giving the person who hurted me something. I like I'm giving them blessing, but really, what we are doing when we forgive, we just like save ourselves and our body some like brain cells. Any negative emotion really affect the physical body in a even a tangible way, like worry will weaken the stomach, fear will weaken the kidneys, anger, liver, sadness, lungs, stress, heart, and brain. Yeah, so like everything, a single negative emotion will affect the physical body in a just a very negative way. And subhanallah, when Allah sent Adam and our mother to this planet, and of course Adam was there were two emotions, sad, because like he disobeyed and he ate from the tree, so the sadness was there, and the fear because he is now in a strange place on this planet Earth where he have to look after his wife. Sadness and fear were one of the very biggest emotions. And so Allah said to Adam, if I will send you guidance, and whoever follow my guidance, they will not have fear and they will not be sad. So it's like imagine being in this life with no fear and no sadness. This is like being in heaven. It's like they have never left heaven if we never have fear about anything on this life or sad because whatever happened to us in our life, that mean like we without these two emotions, it's like we are still living on this planet. And I also like to share something. I told you like I'm always doing something new because like if you are in any field, it is good to be on training and it's always to be the best in your field. So I'm doing this self-development program, and the way they look at emotions, it's emotion like in a beautiful way, like any emotion like fear, anger, sadness. These are just like abstract. If I ask you, tell me where is fear, can you go and find me the fear you have and put it in a bag and bring it here? These words really, we can't really touch them, we can't really see them, we can't really hold on to them. So it's like imaginary, really just a beautiful way at looking at these, so we don't really let them hold on to our life and take a big chunk of our time, because it can be very time consuming. People can get stuck in these emotion for a long time. uh, so our religion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about wisdom. Yeah, wisdom is something really very interesting in this in our religion. Allah talks about it, and Allah said in this verse in Surah Al-Baqarah, He give wisdom to whoever He wills, and whoever is given wisdom is a lot of blessings, and only those remember the people of the hearts. Yeah, so like hikmah is something like Allah talks about the hikmah, and to forgive, you really need a lot of wisdom to understand and to be able to see the meaning of what you are going through. And the hikmah is something like some people are born with hikmah, like Queen Balqis, the way she dealt with Prophet Sulaiman. And like when Sulaiman was saying to her, if you don't come to me as a believer, I'm going to send you army. And she was consulting with her people, and the men in her countries, they said, oh, we are very strong people, we can fight him, we are up to a war with this. And she said no. kings, when they come to a country, they really make great havoc in it. So the Quran talks about Bilqis alayhi salam, peace be upon her, as a woman with great wisdom, really with great wisdom, and it's beautiful. Like, some people talks about women, or like even some Islamic scholar, they say women, they don't really have wisdom, and like there was a queen who ruled Egypt at some time, and all the men and all the and she was a very wise woman, and her husband was training her. He used to consult her on everything in Shajarat al-Dur in Egypt, and when she ruled the country, all the like scholars, they were like saying to her, "Oh, no woman should rule a Muslim land." Uh, but like the Quran, when he talks about Balqis, really a very honorable way, like a woman with wisdom. So some people have wisdom, they born with it. Like Queen Balqis, she was just got this wisdom. But our religion, because it's just a very beautiful thing. And Allah said subhanahu wa ta'ala about Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. This is a prayer from Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim said, "Ya Allah, send, give them a messenger who is going to teach them your words, and who is going to teach them uh, he's going to teach them the wisdom and the book and the wisdom. He is going to teach them the book and the wisdom, and that is like, and that is important. Like this prayer is saying to us, our prophet is going to teach us two things: the book and the wisdom. So we really need to understand what is the difference between the book and the wisdom. The book is what we read. The wisdom is between the lines. The wisdom is like in the practicality. The book is like how we fast, how we pray, how we go to Hajj. Is a mechanicality. The wisdom is like when you connect this with your heart, when you take this to another level, when you take this to another dimension, when you take this and really connect with Allah with your whole being. And this is the wisdom. It's like a muscle we need to practice. Is something you cannot say, or blame yourself for not having it. Like it is a patient when we go through a very big calamity, and we help us to go through any difficult thing in life. But you can never say, oh, like I'm very sad because I feel my iman is weak. Is that muscle, and is something, um, you just, it's like anything else. The more you practice, the more you get better at it. And it's something because like for many, 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 many years now, since the last Khalifa on this planet from the Ottoman Empire, the last Islamic ruling in the world, uh, the Muslim world have been like going down a hill in every sense. And that make Muslim people like weak in every single dimension. Like Muslim in the West are minority, struggling in every sense. Muslim in the Muslim lands have so many economical, political, psychological, and on all levels they are struggling. So it's like this wisdom is something, especially for people living, because the majority of this group today living in the West, especially for our children, like they see themselves deprived, struggling. They see the majority of the people like this. So what do they grow with, like inferiority complex? So how do you deal with that? How do you really ingrain in your children that this religion is the best? And yeah, so hikmah is something we really need to practice. We really need to work on, to plant in our children. Our religion is the best, and is something, not just teaching them, is the practicality of the very deep level of connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and trusting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything in our life. It's Allah who heal us. Quran fihi shifa'un linnas. This Quran, Allah said, this Quran will heal you. in your physical body, but do we really practice this? The minute we are ill, we run to the doctor, we run to the hospital. What do we teach our children about healing from the Quran? The Quran is a thing to protect you. إذا قرأت القرآن جعلنا بينك وبين الذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة حجابا مستورا. When you read this Quran, I will make a veil between you and those who do not believe in Allah. The Quran will protect you. I remember when we have the riot against the Muslim, one of my dearest friends, she stopped wearing her hijab and she said, "Oh, this is like for my safety, for my security." And the Quran teaches, Allah is saying to us, قل للنساء المؤمنين يدنين عليهن عسى أن يعرفن فلا يؤذين. Tell the believing women to lower their clothes so they will be known and they will not be harmed. So if the Quran is teaching you, when you wear your Islamic clothes, Allah will protect you. That is the promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allahul Haq wa yaqulul Haq, Allah is the truth and He tells us the truth. So it's like how do we believe in our religion on that thing, believing Allah, He is the one who is going to provide for us, He is the one who is going to protect us, He is the one who is going to heal us on every um, single dimension. Yeah, this is the practicality, and this is something we teach our children by practicing it ourselves. We need to be there, and then they will be able to see it. So, wisdom, we're talking about wisdom. Wisdom is something you can practice, and wisdom, Allah can give it to you as a gift. Allah talks about two prophets in the Quran, Prophet Joseph alayhi salam and Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Both of them, Allah said, وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ, when he reached maturity. Ashuddahu, normally like in the Quran, 40 years old. Allah have given them hikmah and ilm, wisdom and knowledge. And this is the way this is the way we acknowledge and we reward the muhsineen. Who are the muhsineen? Who are the people who practice ihsan? So Allah is saying He have granted. So not every knowledge you find in a book. There are some knowledge Allah will give it to you as a gift. And as I said, hikmah is something that our Prophet is teaching us. And some people are born with hikmah, and some people Allah gives them hikmah. And the hikmah, when you are, is the best thing you can ever be. Anybody would wish for. If you have hikmah, you will be able to navigate your life on this planet with no problem, with a lot of blessings. Uh, so Allah said He gave this prophet the ilm, the knowledge, and the wisdom, and that is because they are from the muhsineen. Ihsan is a very high level of practicing. Ihsan is when you do something just for the sake of Allah. But normally we do something for a sister and we say, "Oh, I have done this and this and this to her, and she was very mean to me." It's like ihsan is when you do it and you just forget, even you forget you did this for her. You did it because for Allah's sake. So you don't really expect anything from it. Uh, so Allah is talking about the one who He loves, who Allah loves. Allah said, never do bad things on this planet, uh, and ask Allah. Always connect with Allah. Like if you need something, ask Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. His mercy is very close for the muhsineen, who do things just for His sake, not expecting any return from anybody. And Allah is going to define for us who are the muhsineen. The muhsineen are those who give sarra and darra, when they have and when they don't have. Always. You don't say, "Oh, I don't really have anything to give, so I don't give." No. You give even like the £1, 50 pence, even 1 penny. Yeah, you give Allah, because these are the people who Allah loves. They give when they have and when they don't have, and the one who hold the anger. When you are really, really angry, it's like, I have the analogy of the Coca-Cola. The Coca, when you shake, we should really be drinking Coca-Cola now with the pipe. Yeah, but like when you shake it and the bottle is nearly to explode, that is like you're in that state of anger, but you don't really release that anger. They hold the anger, but they don't just keep it inside their body, because if you keep it, your body will be ill. But then you hold it and you release it for the sake of Allah and you forgive. تعفي عن الناس والعافين عن الناس, they forgive people. And Allah said, Wallahu yuhibbul muhsinin. And Allah loves those who do this. This is ihsan. The ihsan is when you give, when you have and you don't have, and when you hold your anger and release it. Imagine you do these two things and Allah loves you. You give one penny and Allah loves you. And you hold your anger for a sister and don't tell her anything and you release it and Allah loves you. Allah, He said, Allah yuhibbul muhsinin. فَأَتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ, and then He will give you blessings in this dunya. Allah will give you blessing in this dunya and on the last day. Allahu yuhibbu al-muhsinin. Yeah, blessings. You will get blessings in this life and in heaven, in both dimension, on this dimension and in the next life. And Allah loves those who practice ihsan. Uh, Wallahu yuhibbul muhsinin. Yeah, those who believe and do good deeds, and those who fear Allah and do good deeds, and they fear Allah and they believe, and they fear Allah and do ihsan, and Allah loves the muhsinin, loves those who do things for His sake only. So imagine, like Allah talks about those who are just like hold their anger and release it, and those who give in when they have and they don't have, and Allah loves those. And especially for women, like women, we are as women, maybe like you don't really have a lot of money, but you can give even very little. And like you we don't really have, we don't can't really go to a battlefield and be like martyred and give our like body for the sake of Allah, be and jihad. But Allah tells us simple things. We can hold our anger and release it. You don't have to go on a big argument with a sister for anything. Just like forgive her for Allah, not for her sake, because you say, I'm not going to forgive her. She did blah 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 blah. No, you do it for Allah's sake. And like your mother-in-law, if she's mean, your neighbors, whoever like mean to you, remember this verse, write it down and try to practice it. Allah is saying the good act and the bad act, they are never the same. If there is an argument between you and your enemy, just give them ihsan, give them like good manners, give them like the best of you. And this will transfer whatever animosity between you and your enemy. Yeah, and the verse after, and those who will go to heaven, only those who practice patience, and those who is like uh, really with great with truly fortunate, because it's like those who Allah will accept them in heaven. Not every jack angel will go to heaven. Those who really obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every dimension. And this is a beautiful ayah, because like this tell you the secret. If you there is someone who is like there is like difficulty between you and them, like in communication in whatever, Allah is said, just like treat them with kindness. Treat them with kindness. Yeah, and it will transform the relationship. And you know what? One of the school of counseling I did is person-centered, and Carl Roger talked about positive regard, unconditional unconditional love, like when you without conditioning your kindness to anybody. This is like in itself will transform the relationship between you and anybody. And subhanAllah, the Quran teach us this. The Quran teaches us things which will bring us, like, if we live life with no animosity with our neighbors, with our family, with husband, with between children, just by treating them with kindness. Imagine how peaceful life would be. And yeah, so we came to the husband and the children. Even though Allah talks about it, you will believe some of your husband or your children is your worst enemy. Like, be careful. But if you forgive, three words Allah is saying to us about. In English, we just say forgive. But they have three different words. Ta'fu, when you forgive. Tasfahu, when you let go. And تغفروا is like when your heart is like white, clear, like when it's like white milk, like they have never done this to you. You even forget what they have done. This is a very high level of forgiveness. Yeah, and the English, there is not even these words. So if English is your second language, please try to understand the difference between these three words. تعفو وتصفح وتغفر. Surah 64, verse 14. Yeah, three words. تعفو وتصفح وتغفر. Try to understand the difference between these two words Allah is giving us. So like a problem between husband and wife, and for your children. Because like even husband sometimes is like big children. And our children, of course, like we know this, like as I said, from the school of Carl Roger, conditional positive regard. He talked about like any human species who like um, who react with pain or with anger, they may like have some childhood issues. They have not been loved. They have insecurities. So when you give them when you forgive and you are tasfih and taghfir, that means what is left between you and these people is just love. You give them this love, which in itself is very therapeutic and unconditional positive regard and healing. So it's like this is like a whole school of counseling is just like based on this no like criticism. When a child do something not acceptable, you just ignore it. When they do something good, you talk about it and you make it really big. You focus on the good things they do. So it's not always blaming and shaming and criticizing them. Like our children in the West, they're already like on the floor. They go to school, the teacher is mean, the boys are mean, like, so it's like that is why it's so important at home is the source of love and compassion, and we build them. So whatever, when they go out, they are very strong from inside, and nothing will shake them. They will be able to survive because they have all the love they need. And for our daughters, when we give the love, they it's not like frozen need. She will not our daughter will not go outside and look for love from somewhere which is not appropriate, yeah, because they are content and fulfilled. uh, okay. Allah is saying to us, who are the winners? Your money and your children is a test, and Allah have great reward for you. Fear Allah whenever you can, and listen and obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and like give charity, is better for you. And those are the winners. So who are the winners? Those who listen and obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Allah say to you, forgive, and three word, أستصفح وتغفر وتصفح, three word for forgiveness. When Allah tell you this and you obey, you will be from the winners. Who are the winners? In Surah Nuh alayhi salam, like um, as I said, like we as the Muslim community in the Muslim world, or in the West, like economically struggling. Yeah, in the majority of the Muslims now in the West are struggling financially. Like they apply for a job, if a white person applied, the white person will get the job 99%. You have to be really on top of everything to get somewhere. So, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always remind us, He is the one who provide. If you have this belief and trusting in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will always look after you financially. You never have to really struggle. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like put this together with forgiveness. Yeah. Allah will provide for you when you forgive people. It's like when you forgive people, your whole being is in a better space. It's like when you forgive people, you will not be full of anger or resentment or disappointment or sadness. Imagine if you don't have all these feelings and you go for a job interview. Of course, you will be over the moon. It's not like someone who is sad, depressed, disappointed, angry, deprived, and they go for a job interview. They're completely two different people. Somebody go to a job interview, just even somebody goes through life with none of these emotions. They are completely two different people. Somebody with none of these negative emotion go to the mosque. Who will engage more in their prayer? Who will engage more with the community they meet? Who will connect more with people? Of course, the person who go around in life with none of these negative emotions. That's all. Like when we go through life with none of these negative emotion, we will be winning on this planet, and we will be winning on Jannah, because this is something Allah loves. When we don't really go through life holding all these emotion, even like in Surah Noah is a beautiful verse. There is Surah Noah, and Noah is talking to us. uh, now he's saying, and I have told my people a secret. I have told them a secret. Imagine, like, you tell this to children. Oh, I'm going to tell you a secret now. Yeah, and everybody listen. It is a secret, and everybody love. We all love secrets. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a secret, and I have told them, ask Allah for forgiveness. He is Ghaffara, the noun even for forgiveness. Allah is Ghaffara. Allah will definitely forgive you. He will send you rain from heaven. And imagine, well, this verse, if you say it to people in UK, they will say, oh, not more rain. But like at the time in the desert, when rain comes, people love. Like I lived in Africa. When it rains, we go and play in the rain. We go and play, and it is like a festival, the rain. So like people love the rain when it is like deserty hemisphere. So he said, like, Allah will send you rains, and He will give you money, and He will give you children, and He will make you gardens and flowing rivers. This is in heaven. Yeah. So this is what Prophet Noah, he was saying to his people: make istighfar, and Allah will forgive you, and the rain will come, and He will give you money and children. And at the time of Prophet Noah, there was no money. People at that time used to exchange things. You have a cow, I have a camel, we exchange this. But Allah said, like, money is discovered, like created, not many centuries after Prophet Noah. But this is like a miracle from the Quran. This is talking to us in our time. He will give you money, and He will give you children on this planet, and on the other life, gardens and river. So he's teaching us how to make istighfar. In his istighfar, he said, my Lord, forgive me. Forgive me. Yeah, you need to save yourself first. In the airplane, they tell you to put the mask first before you save your children. So you need to be selfish and ask Allah to forgive you before you pray for anybody else. Because on the day of judgment, Allah said, your children will run away from you. Your spouse will run away from you. Everybody will say, myself, myself. So save yourself. Be selfish and look after yourself on every dimension. So the prayer is like, my Lord, forgive me and my children and whoever enter my home, a believer, and from heaven enter my home, um, as a believer, and for all the believing women and for all the believing men. You make prayer for like every single people, from your, like, your brother and sister in this religion, and those who uh, and those who practice zulm, uh, like, do not guide them. So it's just a very beautiful prayer. It's just a very beautiful prayer. And like, Noah is saying, when we practice istighfar, Allah will give us money and children. And the way we need to say istighfar, please memorize this. Surah 71, verse 28. This prayer for istighfar. is beautiful because it is from the Quran. It is a prayer of a prophet, and the prophet said, if you do istighfar in this way, Allah will give you the money, He will give you the children, and He will give you flowing rivers. So, what is this prayer? You're asking Allah to forgive you, to forgive your parents. Why? Do you know something in Indian cultures, but this is a universal law. If your parents do evil, it will definitely affect you. You can tell me, oh, but it is not my fault. It is not your fault, but that is why on this prayer you ask Allah to forgive your parents because this is the universal law. This is the universal law because why it is like this? Because I know this. I know if I do something bad, it will affect my children. I love my children. I will not harm any human species because I don't want the badness to come to my children. This is common sense. So, but like maybe my parent did something bad, so I will pray for Allah to forgive them so it will not affect me personally. So I will say, Rabbi, forgive me, forgive my parents. Maybe my parents were not practicing. A lot of our parents do not really know a lot about the religion because the way the education system is separated from religion in many Muslim lands. So, our parents are very ignorant with inheritance law. You will find in a lot of countries that they will never give the woman her right in so many Muslim countries. And this is because of the ignorance about this religion. So I will say, Ya Allah, forgive me, forgive my parents for the ignorance about this religion. And whoever enter my home, my neighbors, maybe she enter my home and she is very mean. Okay, well, she's a believer, so I need to forgive her. Anybody enter my home, I will say, Allah, forgive them. And I will ask forgiveness for all the believing women and unbelieving men. It's just like in humanity, we need to do this for each other because it's like you pray for someone and someone else pray for you and we pray for each other. Uh, ولا تزد الظالمين, and Allah does not love ظالمين. So like Allah say, like, Ya Allah, those who make zulm, like, the people who kill people in like massacres in like what is happening in Gaza, what is happening in Sudan, like we say Allah punish these people. They never be guided, the Zalimeen. So it's just a very beautiful prayer, like for all the circle, the very small circle, the bigger circle, your family, and then the bigger circle, your neighbors, people who come to your home, and then your community, and then like your whole ummah, and then the people outside. It's just circle above circle above circle above circle, like a riddle of big circles. It's just a very beautiful dua. Especially when Allah said, when you pray this prayer, Allah will bless you with money and with children. It's just beautiful. Like when you say, "Ya Allah, forgive me." Imagine you will become like an angel. Like Allah, when Allah forgive you, your parents, whoever come to your home, and all the believer, we will all be like very like clean heart, nothing in our heart for each other. And then, of course, when we are in that state of purity, whatever ask Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, He will give us. It's just a very beautiful prayer. Uh, so, inshallah. Uh, I will stop here. Um, yeah, I would just say something about a beautiful verse. Allah said, like, whoever obey Allah and the Rasul, wa mita Allah wa Rasuluh, whoever obey Allah wa Rasuluh, they will be with the Prophet and the martyr and the Shuhada. Uh, and who is better than company than this? Imagine when you obey Allah on the day of judgment, you will compare with Prophet Muhammad, with Prophet Ibrahim, with Maryam alayhi salam. When you obey Allah, just by obeying Allah. You will come with the martyred, all the people who died in Gaza, Shahada. You will come with them because you obeyed Allah. So we as women, like we can't really go and fight with them and make Shahada and carry big heavy guns and things like that. Allah does not want us, just if you just obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you just obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as a woman, as a believer, Allah will bring you with the Prophet and with the martyr and with the shuhada. من يطع الله ورسوله فأولئك مع وجيء بالنبيين والصديقين والشهداء. May Allah make us from those who worship Allah and who obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. الحمد لله رب العالمين.